DJ Vespers, 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 Vespers. Watch me.
All right, up next we're going to cover our synths. So I have them grouped here. I'm going to expand this group track. And I have two synths that are running layered together, playing the same MIDI pattern. The first one is Sugar Bytes Unique. And I love this synth. It's a really fat sounding synth. I like layering it with things as well, and it's great for leads and basses. So I've got this one running with Isotope Trash on it, adding some distortion to it. Again, I'm using that Cracked Actress with some overdrive. Using some EQ to roll out the low end and the top end, some bit crushing, and some of Sugar Bytes' Wow filter box, again with LFO automation using a comb filter, and a fair bit of resonance. Let's check it out. I also have this panned to the left, and I'm using some delay on it. As you can see, I'm using a little bit of reverb send and a little bit of delay send. So C is reverb, D is delay, and I have it panned to the left. And the other sample that I'm layering with it, I have panned to the right, so it helps to spread the stereo image of this synth sound. So the other layer I'm using here is the Native Instruments B4-2. So it's a organ, and I use this in a lot of my tracks actually. It just gives a really neat stabby kind of synth sound. And I'm using a modified preset here, the Cool Cats preset. And I've taken a lot of the reverb off it and just changed some of the settings so that it's kind of a little bit more stabby. And again, I'm using another instance of Sugar Bytes' Wow filter box. And this time I'm using the Band Crusher with quite a bit of overdrive on it. Again, EQing out some of the bass, a little bit of the top end. And another instance of Sugar Bytes' Wow over top using the LF Crusher preset and using some automation using the step sequencer on this one. So this is a technique that I use quite frequently actually. I use two instances of Sugar Bytes' Wow, one on the left channel, one on the right channel, running different filter types and different speeds. And I just love the way it sounds. It creates a really neat effect. So I'm going to solo these. Actually, I'll solo this one first so you can hear it. So this B4 has actually got something called a rotator on it, so it gives it kind of a vibrato sound. So I'm using the rotator on this fast setting. I'll solo these together so you can hear them as they interplay. So those are our synths. The next element is white noise. White noise is pretty much essential in dance music. It's what gives a lot of that building, rising sensation to it. I use the same white noise sample in pretty much all my tracks. It's something that I'd exported just using the noise out of Native Instruments Pro 53 synth. And I just exported 8 bars of this noise with no effects on it or anything like that, and I just import it into all my tracks, and then I play around with it and do stuff. So let's check out how it sounds. So you can see as it's playing, I'm using the Ableton EQ8 to roll off the low end, and I'm automating the low end so that it comes up. So it's giving it this kind of high-passed filter effect, so it sweeps up through the sound. The other thing I'm doing is I'm sidechaining this to a 4/4 kick, so it's giving a pumping or whooshing effect as it increases. The other thing I've done is I've used volume automation on it, and I've actually used Ableton's built-in fades to be able to sculpt the sound so it increases in amplitude as well. Now I've used little pieces of it again in different parts of the track for a little accentuation or transfer elements between phrases. And sometimes I take it and I use it in reverse, like before or during a breakdown. So in this case, I'm taking the filter and I'm rolling it down in reverse to what I was doing before, so it's kind of swooshing down into the main breakdown of the track.
DJ Vespers, 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 Vespers. Watch me.